Welcome to the Eye on Annapolis Local Business Spotlight. There are thousands of locally owned businesses in the area, some small and some large. Some you may know and others you don't. But one thing they all have in common is a great story, and we want to share it with you. Join us every Saturday as we talk to the founders, the owners, and the managers of local businesses you have come to know and love, and those you will come to know and love. Now here's your host, John Frenay, with this week's Local Business Spotlight.
Today, we are having a special podcast. It's the Local Business Spotlight, but we're here with what I would call the entire art scene of Annapolis. Both of them. Darin, Gilliam, and Alison Harbaugh, who collectively co-own and creative gallery, ArtFarm, Sugar Farm Productions. We've got Darin Michelle, and these guys are really the pulse of the art scene here in Annapolis and have been for quite some time. Thank you so much for inviting me into your new space here, And Creative, which is on McGuckian Street.
Mm-hmm.
Did I pronounce that right?
Yes.
Correct.
Yep.
Some people say McGuckian.
McGuckian. Yeah,
I like
that.
And Chinquapin.
Chinquapin is my favorite.
Yeah, we've got the hard addresses over here.
For those that don't know, if you get on Chinquapin or Chinquapin Round Road, once you get past the old people's names like the George, the Virginia, and stuff like that, and it gets to McGuckin before you get to West Street, and it's right there on the corner. But
Margaret,
right next to
yeah, that's right. You got Margaret down there too.
Margaret.
But you guys have just been such a fixture in the art scene for years and years, and you've been out here on this, I'll say on the corner of almost West and Chinquapin Round Road for a while. ArtFarm Studios was the first one that came up here, right? And I love the way that you painted the front of the building. You really bought some
Jeff Huntington. It's Jeff
The
Huntington made it happen, and it's Neil Harp's work. So Neil Harp is the guy you see surrounding us right now. He does these great, I don't know what you call them, color studies, geometric designs, and he designed one for the front of our building. Jeff and I had been talking about it for a long time, and we finally figured out how to make it happen during Arts Week last year. So
this year.
Oh, this year.
Yeah, this year.
I forget what year we're in. But yeah. That super helped the people be able to find us because we're an easy brick building to pass over.
Well, you are here in the Design District.
Yeah.
And the Design District is not the most architecturally diverse district in the city.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cinder blocks, there's a lot of bricks and everything else, so it really does make it pop out.
Yeah.
It really does say exactly
sure.
what goes on inside those
I'd
walls.
love to do more.
I know.
Like, we're already like, can we do it on the side now? That would be really cool.
Poor landlord.
Tell me about ArtFarm Studios, okay? I mean, I know that you do education, you do performances, you've got parties, you've got, pretty much everything there. And you guys sort of birthed this idea how long ago?
So it's about 12 years ago. I think we're at like 11 3/4. But I asked a former boss of mine, Stacy Turner, to partner with me on this idea of ArtFarm. This was a couple years, I think, after she closed down her kids' art studio, which was called Already Artist. It was on Maryland Ave, and I was her assistant there. I had been teaching photography classes in the back of 49 West, and I had been kind of jonesing for my own space to teach the classes and maybe do some other things. And as I started to kind of write out my loose business plan, as an artist would do, all these ideas came into my head, which we're doing now, which is cool. But I was like, Stacy, can you come back and partner with me on this idea? And she thankfully said yes. We opened up at where Prism is now on West Street. We opened up in that space first, which is funny because Darin was in an art collective there before us. So she had been there, and then we had been there for a couple years. And then we moved, after I think it was 2, maybe 3 years, we moved down to West Street near 49 West.
Right.
Yeah.
We were there for 3 years. And in that time, Stacy and I parted ways, and Darin became my business partner.
Okay. When you were down on West Street, was there like clothing in the front?
Yeah, that was Darin.
Okay.
So yeah, when Darin became my new partner, she brought a whole different kind of vibe and up the business model. So she had retail in the front where she represented, how many artists was it?
God, I think in 1 year And one year we had like 30 artists that we were selling either their work or their products. I would say at one time we probably had like 12 or 13. And then we fully like represented, it was like 4 or 5 artists where basically they were a part of an incubator or a what
You were giving them like
giving them
business advice and how to take your art and market it properly. And
it was, and that's
because we know artists are no good at that.
Yeah.
right. And
Let's be real.
And at
Most
that
artists,
time, like when I met you, I was with Symmetry. Right. And it was cool to kind of take that marketing part of my mind and give it to artists, which I feel now I'm like, this is what I really feel passionate about, is like advocating for artists and helping them to understand how to better sell their work and position themselves. So it was cool. We had the front space was a boutique, and then the back space was a gallery / classroom.
And it was only 1,000 square feet. And it's crazy because now we're up here. ArtFarm is, I think, 3,200 square feet. And gallery, I think it's 24, 27, somewhere around there. And then across the hall, we have the photo studio, which is maybe 800 or 700. But so it's just kind of funny where we did all these things down on West Street. And it was so cool to be like in the heart of town and where the arts are happening. But we obviously were busting out of the seams.
Well, art is a messy thing that requires space.
Yeah.
It does.
It really is. But I mean, so ArtFarm, I mean, I know that you've had, obviously exhibitions there. I know, remember Paul Gillespie premiered his Faces of the Capital Gazette there, which was a fabulous night. I mean, I know you've got improv that jumps in there monthly.
Improv is actually every Wednesday night they host classes here. So we call them like a space partner or studio partner. That's Dan Brown with Reflex Improv. So he's based out of Virginia, but does classes in Virginia, Annapolis, and Easton.
Okay.
And we're his Annapolis hub.
Yeah.
Since we were down on West Street. So it's been, he's been with us for, I want to say like 8 years.
Got that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Dang.
So, and then they do the show once a month to kind of let their students practice, but also they bring in guest people. They just had, I wish I remembered her name, but they brought her in from LA to do like a little workshop, and then she sat in on the show and like played in. And
that's awesome.
I'll say the best part of being, I do remember, the best part of being on West Street with improv was we had a little tiny office in the back that was like separated by our supplies shelves. And we would work improv, but when they were doing their thing, obviously they needed the space. So we would just hang back in the office. And I just remember sitting back there, trying to like edit design docs or marketing for us, and just, having to
giggling.
Muffle my laughter because it was so funny. I never really got tired of working the improv events because it was just ridiculous.
Yeah, they're a great crew of people.
It's a good crew of people.
But you guys have, you've had drag shows, you've had all sorts of
not drag, but burlesque.
Burlesque.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. That's,
We need to do drag shows.
I know.
You've had some great entertainment, and it is. It's not a big venue. What 3? No, not even 300. Like 100 people.
100. Yeah.
We can seat. We can seat 65.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's a great little. We talk about like Ramset on stage being an intimate venue when you talk about like the zombies coming in or Kevin Bacon or something like that. That yes, it is an intimate venue for that, but up close, personal, like when you're seeing an improv or when you're seeing a burlesque show or something like that. The audience actually does come and become part of the show.
Especially with burlesque.
Yeah,
I would say so. London St. Juniper, who runs Tippity Witchet Productions, who produces the burlesque, she has done such a fantastic job at like encouraging the performers to interact with the crowd. I think my one of my favorites was when she was like the housewife and she came out into the crowd with the cookies and gave them to everybody. The cookies that she made at home that day, they were delicious. And I think that's the thing I love about it. Like we did a show last year or 2 years ago with Craig Colarusso.
Oh yeah.
Ruben and Jonesy, right?
Yep.
And what's Jonesy? What's his
Brian Jones.
And it was so beautiful and so intimate, and it almost at some points felt like you were in their living room with them spying on them playing, like because it's so close and it's so tiny.
I think that's 100% the vibe of what we've created here too, is like what you said, you're in the living room. Like people walk in and they're like, I just want to live here. When they walk into ArtFarm, and I'm like giddy about it, because I'm like, that's the whole point. We don't want it to feel sterile.
Yeah.
We don't want it to feel corporate or we just want you to want to be here and like gather with us and be as excited as we are about this stuff.
Well, I know, and again, we talked about being messy and big and everything else. I know that I did leadership in Arundel during a COVID year, so we did it remotely, where we did our coloring and our painting and everything else. And Alison remembered to direct it. But I mean, I know that you've had leadership in Arundel coming in, so you've got adults coming in, you've got children coming in, you've got classes.
Yeah.
I mean, because art is so, whether you know it or not, it's so integral to who we are.
Oh my God.
And you don't have to be an artist or an aficionado
Thank you. Yes.
to appreciate it.
And I think that people lose sight of the fact that even though, people come and go, I'm not an artsy person and I don't really like the arts, but yet they collect all of Agatha Christie's novels.
That's a bunch of bullshit though.
And right. And I'm like, you love the arts and don't even understand that you love the arts. Like, and I mean, I think we saw that with COVID.
Totally.
Right. I mean, I think that that was when the arts really thrived in a sense, because people were understanding, they were at home and they didn't have anything else to do. So what were they wanting to do? I think I'm going to learn how to do watercolor. I think I'm going to learn how to do this, even like the art of cooking. I think I'm going to learn how to bake bread. How many bread bakers do you have?
Sure.
Me.
You know what I'm saying? Well, I think people lose sight of that. And that's a big thing here. Like we were just talking about how art makes us emotional and how when I realized that I wanted to be an artist, my mom took me to go see the Nutcracker. I was 11. And I remember I was so mad. She made me dress up. She was like, it's at the Kennedy Center. It's so nice. I had to put this dress on.
Darin, Michelle, you're going to wear this dress and
you're going to shut your mouth and get in a car. And so I was like, and we're there and we're watching the Nutcracker and the bum, 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 Sugar Plum Fairies. And they come on and there was a point in the music where it gets kind of low and then it just kind of sweeps you up. And I started crying. And I couldn't understand why I was crying because I'm 11 years old. And I was like, okay, what is going on? And I just remember kind of like wiping my tears, and it just kept going.
That's so powerful though, Darin, when you talk about that, because, the one thing that I love about arts, and that's a pretty broad term, when you're involved with the arts, all of the gay, straight, black, white, male, female, Republican, Democrat, all that BS sort of melts away.
It melts away.
We're here in the podcast studio at And Creative, and we're sharing an experience. When we go to an exhibition, when we go to a class, we're sharing that experience. And really it's like the commonalities that we have as opposed to what sits there and divides us.
It's
when we go home and be the
so bad right now.
Oh yeah.
And we need more of that.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. And we need more people to understand why it's important. So then they're not dismissing it, because a lot of artists, I think a lot of what Alison and I do here really comes down to like advocating for the arts and why it's important and why people, need a fair wage as artists. It's the same old thing, right? Like artists come into a city, they come into a district, they make it beautiful, and then they're priced out of it. They can't afford to live there, and they made it cool. They made it beautiful. I mean, look at all of the spaces in Annapolis that have all the cool and all the good vibes, right? You're looking at places like Sailor. I mean, Scott Herbst has literally like created the cool in downtown Annapolis and brought artists along with him.
Right.
And
none of them can live there.
No.
None of them can live there. None of them can afford it.
Yeah.
Right. And if they can, it's probably like
with 3 or 4 people.
Yeah. Or they've lived there forever. They bought it years ago when it wasn't.
Or art isn't their main way of making money.
Right.
Yeah. And so I think like we are so big on these spaces really hold tight, like the story that of us, how much we fell in love with art when we were younger, why we're still in love with art, and then how much we love artists. Like we're not just for ourselves. We really created these spaces because it was missing, Well,
the one thing I love about what you guys have done though is that you're not specific to, we'll say the color mosaic type art that we've got here on the wall. You're not
Mhm.
specific to pottery. You're not specific to a specific
We
discipline.
do it all.
It's all. And
Which is hard for marketing, but
It's a very
well, it really it is, but it isn't. But you talk about art for all is a phrase that we've heard, and I mean it truly is. And there are so many different aspects of art that you can do. I mean, I know you talk about during COVID. I mean, I failed, but I said I wanted to learn how to play guitar, so I bought a guitar, and I still can't play guitar. But I mean, the intent was there.
tried.
The intent was there. But you guys have now expanded around the corner from ArtFarm, which is on Chinkapin Round Road in Georgia.
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess that's
facing,
one of the-
Oh, Virginia. Sorry.
Virginia.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right. And it's pretty much the same building, isn't it?
This is all the same
It's all the
building.
same building.
It feels like it's not, but it is.
Right. And this
yeah, we can just
location-
walk down the hall from here and be an art farm.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
But this building is actually on McGuckin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
this
just the entrance is on
That's right.
McGuckin and the art farm entrance is on Chinkapin, but you can access either. Whatever.
Interesting. What's the difference between Art Farm Studios and Creative Gallery?
It's a great question.
I love this
I'm
question.
going to let Darin take it because we've been talking a lot about
You're
this.
talking a lot about this.
We're
Do I
defining.
need to come back and when you guys figure it out?
No,
No,
we got to figure it out.
We want this set in stone so then we can come back and be like, what did we say on that podcast?
No, I think we're ready to declare.
We always joke that Art Farm is the wet studio and Creative is the dry studio. In a sense that Art Farm is like more geared towards arts education and exploring the arts tangibly, right?
Getting
Like,
messy.
Getting
it's
messy.
about getting messy, learning. I'm so happy to say that all of our teachers are working artists. Like they work
That's
in
wonderful.
arts in some
Well, it's like
way.
Sophia Hardesty and
Yeah, we
Naptown
love
Things. I mean,
Sophia.
she has all of
Sophia's
the
mom. Yeah. She's my neighbor. And we never see each other in a neighborhood.
Oh, your neighbor. I was like,
Sophia, I'm
wait,
coming to your house.
what?
But Art Farm is like a performance space. It's where you can fully engage with the arts, and Creative really functions as a gallery space where we're more so presenting artists. So where you can engage in a sense of coming to see, coming to purchase, coming to experience it, but you're not necessarily making, right?
Okay.
And when we opened it saying, okay, we wanted to do an event rental space, like an event rental space that had an art niche and an art feel. And I want to give a quick shout out to Kathy Everett and Megan Elodie, which is her artist name. But they are helping us to really like understand who we are and what purposes our spaces fulfill. And I remember Kathy coming in here the second day she came in to work with us, and she was like, this isn't an event space. She was just like, can I be honest with you? And I was like, yeah, this isn't an event space. She was like, this is a gallery that does events. And she's like, your marketing is wrong. You're marketing it as an event space that happens to also be a gallery. She was like, no, it's a gallery first. And we're like, you're right. We're so close to it. And we're thinking of the business model, right? Or like what can work or what can flourish in a community. And maybe, people need like an event space that feels a little funkier or a little artsier, maybe a little more intimate. And instead of like, we're trying to shift our focus now on like, we are a fully functioning gallery that represents artists, that present artists, that you can also have your event in. And I think that has been the best marketing switch for us because it's more authentic to who we actually are.
You're like the Smithsonian's of Annapolis. You
my
can
God.
you can have events there.
Oh my God. I would love to be the Smithsonian of anything.
You heard it here, folks.
Oh, I love this.
Except for the whole shutdown thing. But
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I don't want to rely on government
know.
money for this.
Talk about it.
But I mean, you do offer a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, you've got a film club that's
Tonight, tonight is actually our film club, and it's only our second. So it's really new, and we're kind of figuring it out as we go. But I pulled in Adrian Bond, Pericles Lunas, and Julian Jacques, all three friends of ours that are film nerds, as I like to call them. And they're all very different kind of film nerds. Like Adrian just did a series. He did his presentation last month that they showed Nosferatu, the silent film.
Okay.
And he played live music over it. He played his own score.
I saw that at the Lincoln.
So cool. That's
night
cool.
before Halloween with a full orchestra.
Oh, that's
Oh
cool.
gosh.
Yeah. And then tonight is Perry. And if you know anything about Perry, he's been involved in film and production for his whole life and has done some really cool avant-garde things. So he's bringing in some local filmmakers tonight to show their film. And then in December, Julian is focused on surrealist films. So we're really kind of leaning into a little weird underground avant-garde stuff and not trying to do like new releases or anything because A, we can't afford that. But B, the whole point is like film is art and let's talk about the art. And we're hoping people like stick around after the films to talk and, you know, keep coming back monthly as part of the club.
That's really cool. Julian's a neat guy.
He's cool.
I remember him back in the time when he was a grape tender at Grapes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Julian.
He always orders my wine for me when we go out. So
That makes so much sense now. Yes. Oh, he has the best taste. I always, I don't understand Julie and I's relationship. We love to hate each other for fun. It's so, I feel like it's like brother, sister, like just constantly picking on each other. He has, I will never tell him this to his face. He has the best taste in alcohol, like when it comes to wines, when it comes to
It's a curse.
he's a good drinker.
just, oh my God, the best. And he'll tell you like, no, you don't want to get that. You want to get this. And he's always right.
I need to hang out with him because I'm horrible with wine. I mean, I know what I like and what I don't like.
Yeah,
but
he
I mean,
knows.
you know, you have people do that whole. You can smell the notes of
The notes,
you
the
know, like,
bottom,
no, I don't
top,
smell anything.
middle.
No.
You're like, I just want to drink it.
I'm like, I like the label. It's pretty.
Well,
Good art.
Good art label.
that's me with art. I mean, I'll walk in. I mean, and I told Jeff this a number of times when he painted the mural on Tsunami. Okay,
Yeah.
not my favorite mural
Sure.
in town, but you know what? I look at it every time I go by there. I sit there, I think
man.
about
Makes
it.
you think about it. Yeah.
Yes, it
I
does.
give it second and third shots, and it's still not my favorite mural
Yeah.
in front of Tsunami 9-10 years later.
Yep.
But it's there. It gets me thinking about it. And I mean, when I see art,
That's the point. Yeah.
That's the point.
I know what I
Yep.
like. I
Yep.
know what I like.
Yep.
Sometimes I just sit there going like, so what the hell were they thinking?
Yeah.
And I may not ever solve that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, it was an experience.
No, I think just the fact that you're thinking about it is a win. Right?
100%.
Will, who just interviewed me for MFA video podcast thing, asked me about that. And he's like, what gives art value? And I was like, I don't like, that's not an answer I can answer. It's just if you like it for probably not the same reasons I like
Sure.
it,
Yeah.
you know, or it could just be a color thing and be like, that'll look
Yeah.
good in my living room.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can go down the rabbit hole with this conversation, like the value of art and what it is now, because now there's people that just use it as an investment and they put it in their storage unit. And
That's true.
it's
some of us break
Yep.
into the Louvre. And,
yeah, you know.
Did you see where the ladder people, you know, they
Oh yeah. They
where
used
they bought the
used
rights
it
to the picture and used it
as marketing
in advertising and marketing?
when you
did
gotta
not.
move quick or something like
They said
that.
if you need to get in and out real
Yeah.
quick, where you're
I'm like,
They need an award for that. They
Yeah.
need an award. That is hilarious. Way to
Brilliant.
turn such a crazy situation into something comical.
But you know, but I mean, art is just so intrinsic. And I've talked to a lot of people that are like, "Well, Annapolis isn't really an artsy town," and I'm like,
bullshit.
and well, my
We cuss on here.
standard answer is open your eyes and look around.
Yeah.
Annapolis.
And now I will say it
Annapolis
was not an artist town.
I think it's always
It's
been.
always been.
If
Okay.
you
It's
talk
always
to, say, like, okay, Eric Roberge and that whole crew,
Mhm.
and I think it was
100%.
in the 60s,
Mhm.
70s, they had a whole scene happening that, like, I've learned about from Upstart Magazine and just talking to Eric, and I'm trying
Upstart's
to
wonderful.
think of all the
Yeah.
names, but everyone that was involved, and they're still involved in the arts here.
Yeah.
And so it's always been here. It's just not always been.
Yeah, look at
the
McShane and all the artists, all the musicians she's worked with. Here,
Yeah.
and the festival.
I mean, the
starting.
music's deep, the art is deep.
Mhm.
It's just, it wasn't in your face maybe as much. It was a little more underground, but it isn't. That artists are, there's a ton
I
of
think
artists
it
here.
is in your face now, and I think
Yeah,
you
big
really
time.
do need to open your eyes and look. I mean, you can't go 2 steps without seeing something. You know, you've got,
Mhm.
you know, if you're down on Compromise Street now, there's a mosaic on in front of the
Yeah,
Fleet Reserve.
yeah.
Mhm.
And I have to say too, like, you know, we have to give a huge shout out to not just the artists that made that happen, but the organizations that backed it. I
Yeah,
mean,
good
everybody
call.
from the Anne Arundel County Arts Council, to visit Annapolis, who, you know, it's like you don't, when I worked in tourism marketing for a while, and you don't really realize like how involved your city marketing spaces and your local nonprofits have to be to make these things happen, right? Because I mean, look at all the hoopla around Jeff Huntington's mural, which you just brought up, right?
Sure.
That honestly, I feel like, and like, so sorry to Jeff and Julia for having to like go through all of that BS with it. But on the other side of it, look what came out of it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Murals everywhere.
And I will say, I mean, that, it all stemmed from, Gavin being pissed off.
Yeah.
And running for mayor,
yeah.
everything else. And I mean, he's really, I think it's been a catalyst, and I don't know whether you guys agree or disagree, to get the arts more of that in your face. I mean, we've got in Level has a mural on there. I mean, all these houses up there. I mean, you've got Metropolitan, you've got the side of the garage, you've got the side of the bank building across from the courthouse. You've just got someone. And I've always thought that Watermark or somebody should market maybe with a little golf cart tours. A mural tour.
There's some walking tours.
There are two tours.
Angela has one, and what's his name?
Brian White.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know they were both doing them Angela's tour is an app that you can scan. I'm pretty sure there's QR codes near some of the murals, and if you scan it, it gives you a walking tour of the murals.
Yeah, I mean that's just fantastic. It's all over the city. I mean, coming from here, I mean, I know that they had a big old mural off, if you will, down here in the design district at one point, where they painted like 9 different buildings.
That was all the Brazilian
Urban
artists.
Wall of Brazil. Right.
Yeah. That was Roberta, right?
Yeah, Roberta.
Right.
Yeah, she really kickstarted, and also brought in that. I love that she brought in these Brazilian artists and connected them with students and connected them with local businesses to tell her story, which is now right where we are with politics and everything. And there's such a focus on immigrants and value of I feel like stories like that are so important. And Roberta really brought that to Annapolis. And to see how people, there were people who hated it, but there were so many people who loved it or eventually loved it. And that is the point. John, I love that you gave, Jeff did his mural and I didn't like it and I still don't like it, but I think about it. And
well, it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
And it hits you. I mean, it's, and I think it's the greatest thing. I also think it's kind of funny that if he had painted like a sailboat with a guy in Sperry's in a lab, nobody would have said a word on it.
Right. Well, I think the hard part is explaining people. I grew up in Annapolis. I've been in Annapolis since I was 5 years old, right? A lot of these artists that we're friends with, the Jimmy Davies, the Joe Carrs, even the Jeff Huntingtons have been in or around Annapolis for so long. And I think that people think that as artists, we maybe have like a funkier aesthetic or grungier aesthetic. So then we want to make the city look funky and grungy. And I don't think that people realize how much we actually love the traditional aspects of Annapolis. I have not left. I came back to Annapolis because I love the maritime culture. I love the historic aspects of Annapolis. We don't want to change that. Nobody wants to put graffiti everywhere. I think it's you expand your worldview when you leave, and then when you come back, it reminds me that I read this New York Times article a long time ago, and it was this couple. The title of the article, I think it was called "Go Back to Your Hometown," and it was about this couple that grew up in the Midwest. And basically, it was one of those towns that everybody left. Everybody left this town, and they left. And I can't remember exactly what they did, but they were like, why are we giving all of our goodness to these other cities when we could take it back to our hometown? We can help diversify our hometown. We can help build nonprofits. We can help advocate for certain people or certain spaces. Why are we gathering all of this? And it's not to say that that's what you should do or you're obligated to do, but I feel like if you have a heart for it, I love Annapolis. To the core of me. I took my Annapolis senior high gym shirt, and I tacked it to my wall in college. And people would be like, what's Annapolis? Where is that? Isn't that just the Naval Academy? Right. And I'd be like, sit down and get a history lesson.
Darren's going to lesson you.
I'm going to lesson you up real quick. We're going to talk about everything. And I love this place so much. It has given me so much. And I'm like, why not? I love, Jimmy and I talked about this a while ago, about him traveling the whole world, right?
Mhm.
Jeff Huntington traveling the whole world, art in Milan, art and, and coming back and having your studio in Annapolis.
Mm-hmm.
I think that people are just like, oh, well, now that they've had this expanded worldview, they want to change the space. And we're here because we don't want to change. We want to enhance it. Like, we want to bring the worldview that we have to the town.
And we've got processes to do that. I mean,
Yeah.
and the artists seem all very well willing to work with them.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, no,
We're very
you're not going to be,
flexible.
you're not going to be painting a mural on the State House dome.
Right.
No,
No, we're not trying to do that.
That's crazy.
Which is something we had. But I mean, you guys have just been so instrumental in this. So, and you've got ArtFarm Studios and Creative Gallery.
And we just launched our winter classes for kids. So it's a great time to come see the space and sign up for kids' classes too.
That's awesome. You've got something new on the horizon.
Well, it's
You mentioned it in your email.
in March. Oh, not the photo studio.
You got
The name.
the studio and
I
sort of a merger?
mentioned just and collective.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I would rather Darin talk about that because she's kind of gone down that with so we just brought on 2 people as contractors to help with our marketing and everyday kind of admin stuff, everything from like newsletters to social media. And those conversations with them have been really helpful in helping us define who we are, because we're all over the place. We do so much stuff and we're like, how do we simplify it so our brains can calm down a second and be able to explain it to people better? Because some people only know ArtFarm as kids.
Mm-hmm.
Some people know that we have a gallery, but they don't know that we do film nights. So it's like, how do you take all of this awesome mess and put it into like one big thing? So Darin, I'll let you talk about that.
It was cool because in working with Kathy and Megan, they're just like the best because they care about this space so much, which I just love about everybody who works here. Like our core staff, they love this space and they want to be here. They're excited about it. And I'm so grateful for that.
Yeah,
But
we're a family here. It's pretty cool.
It is awesome. But speaking with them, they were like, what if you could define, because we're talking about marketing, right? And so I'm giving them like prompts to think about for marketing. And they're like, we keep coming down to the same issue. Is that like, well, what defines us, right? Who are we? And I just love it because I speak to them on the phone and they were both so nervous and they're like, okay, so we have suggestions and we think we know some of the problem and we think we know this. And we're going back and forth. Actually, this was over text first. It was text first and then we got on the phone and they're like, I just feel like there's no umbrella. And we're like, well, we wanted Anne Creative to be the umbrella, but now it just feels like its own entity. And so how do we take ArtFarm Studios and Creative Galleries, the Annapolis studio, which is a photo studio, our work that we do with Arts Week, and like the work that we did getting Arts Month off the ground, and have everybody know that all of those things are connected and under one umbrella, right? Without seeming like we're just a bunch of like flaky artists trying to do everything and not understanding where's the cohesion. And so the girls were the ones who were like, I think you guys are collective. Like,
boom.
And we're like, I was like, oh my God. Yeah, we're a collective. She said, no, like think about it. Because and is Alison and Darin, right? I love it when people ask, like, what does AND stand for? Alison and Darin. It was either AND or DNA. I would like the AND more.
Yeah, go with the and better. It's sort of like here a pop-up shop, the whole capital AND.
Yeah. So they were like, you got people, we're so busy working in the background that we don't put our face out there that much. We don't put ourselves in the foreground as much. It's not always really on purpose. I think we're just busy. And the girls are really pushing, like, be more in the foreground, like be more in the front. These things are something that you guys have created or have sustained, because Alison and I didn't create Arts Week together. Ben Eisenberg and I created it together, but Alison and I have sustained Arts Week, right? And Alison and I didn't create ArtFarm together, but we have sustained ArtFarm. And so the idea of now, okay, everything that we're doing is an offshoot of who we are, right? taking over the Annapolis studio from Jen Casey this year was really, Alison had been talking for like, you had brought this up a couple times in the last couple of years. You're like, we need a photo studio space. We need a space. And then Jen comes and is like, hey guys, I want to focus on my other spaces. I want to focus on my health. I really want to sell it. Would you guys be interested? And it was really just like the perfect, it just dropped in our lap. It was like the universe is like.
And it's literally across the hall.
It's across, and it's in between and an ArtFarm. So they're all just in an L.
Right. And I mean, in the end, works out really well. We're ArtFarm and creative and a photo studio and another.
Yeah,
exactly. That was one of my marketing ideas. That was one of my marketing ideas. And. But it was really like, so the idea is that March is our birthday month. And also Alison's birthday month. Whoop, whoop. And it's also the spring equinox. So it's like perfect for renewal and moving forward with new things and birthing new ideas. So we are going to officially launch And Creative Collective, and everything falls underneath it. And I think
and there'll be a new website. It'll be one website with everything on it. So you're not going to ArtFarm for ArtFarm and for And. It's all one website.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Simplify.
Well, you guys have never stopped moving though, do you? And I totally agree with your marketing people. You guys need to be the face of this. I mean, you've built this. And I get that most artists are not the best as far as managing merchandising, marketing, stuff like that. They create.
Yes.
That's what they do. And I mean, not to say that you guys don't.
Yeah.
But you guys have a little bit more. I mean, Alison, we worked way back when you worked for the Capitol. So, I mean, you've got that whole corporate thing there.
Yep.
Darin, you said, you've worked at retail and tourism and marketing. And so you've got a little bit more up on some of the artists where it allows them to create.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Which some artists really function at their highest when they only have to create. I think Eric is such a good example of that. We just had a show with Eric G. He's a Seattle-based, LA-based artist. And him and I have been friends for a long time, over 10 years. And I've been wanting to get his art out here for a long time. We got it out here, and I mean, just blown away. I think
amazing.
It was one of the best gallery shows that we've done.
Yeah.
And he was so blown away by it. He cried for 20 minutes when he saw it at the opening reception. But he is somebody who, when he is functioning fully as a creator, he's like just blowing your mind. The moment he has to do anything else, it's like the creativity just. And then there's some people, I always say Karen Carlson. She owns a company called Keist Jewelry. And she was the first artist that I met that was a full and fully engaged business person. Like truly. And had the eye for marketing and had the eye for design and building website and did it all by herself, and had a brick and mortar space on Maryland Ave and did all of that by herself and ran all of her numbers and ran all of her marketing. And it was just wild to watch her and help her do design and help her set up the space. And I was like, this is my person. Like, this is where I want to function. So I think when Alison and I got together, we realized that we both had that, but we both had different strengths, right? And like, Alison is super business minded. She's thinking about every penny we're spending. She's thinking about all of the schedules.
When the rent's due and
oh my gosh, who's getting paid what? She's thinking about everything. Like we were joking recently that when we moved in this space, we like move in, and Alison loves furniture and lighting. I always tell people those are her two loves, furniture and lighting.
Yeah.
Put a couch and a lamp in and we're good.
Yeah. She set everything up. And then I came in one day and I set up all these little things. And she was like, I went into the meeting room and like, you bought pens for the meeting room. She was like, I just didn't think about getting pens or like coasters or, she was like, but she made the table.
I'll bake the cake. Darin puts the icing and sprinkles on it.
There you go.
I'm like, you literally like built furniture for this space, like made sure it was painted perfectly, made sure the sound was everything. And we
made sound panels.
Sound panels.
The thing that really surprised me though is art you don't realize where art is for you. I mean, I'm looking at you too. Okay, there was an artist that designed the pattern on your blouse, Alison.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
I met a woman up in New York, and I said, "What are you?" She says, "I'm a pattern designer." I said, "Oh, what's that?
Yeah.
Are you like a clothing thing?" She says, "No, actually, it's a little bit more boring than that." But she designed the patterns that you see in rugs in hotels all over the world.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, just something.
I know.
Everything. I know.
You know, you never know where it is.
I mean, everywhere you look,
you mentioned about
there.
Was it Corinne Carlson?
Corinne.
Corinne.
With
Corinne Best now.
Okay, but a jewelry designer, that's art.
Oh, big.
You know, you turn around, you look at the stickers on your water bottle.
Yeah.
The mugs you drink, like the mugs you drink at home. I mean, I think that people, I remember going to Federal House for lunch, and I sit down and I almost can't focus on my meal, which was delicious. But I was like asking the waiter, I'm like, who made these plates? Like, this is not bulk order plates. Like, who made these plates? Who made these bowls? Jeremy, the owner, I'm not sure is Jeremy still the owner?
Jeremy Black, yeah.
Yeah, he's great. He was awesome. He comes over and gives me a whole rundown, a whole like breakdown of how he wanted something to set them apart. And so he worked with a ceramicist to create all of the plates and bowls and everything at Federal House. And it's like, he was like, this is our number one compliment, is like, and you don't even realize it, you know, like art is everywhere.
Art is
Okay, so now I've written down my lunch date for next week. That house for lunch.
Hopefully they still, I'm sure they still have them.
But
they have to
I haven't been there in ages.
But I challenge anybody to look around and really look around, because art is everywhere around
It
here.
really is everywhere.
I'm leaning on a table that's art.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm looking at stickers on a water bottle. I'm looking at art on the wall. I'm looking, you know, just the way the floor is.
Yeah, I love this floor.
You know, it's everywhere, and it enhances our lives. It's everywhere except for that sort of ugly vacant circle in front of the Westin Hotel.
Oh, let's not talk about that.
No, we do because you guys are the, you know, I mean, I know it was all excited, and then it wasn't, and everything else.
Yeah.
But individually, what would you like to see? I want answers from both of you. What would you like if you know?
I'm going to give a surprising answer, because I don't want to see art there. I want to just see
landscaping.
I want to see a meadow of flowers for bees and butterflies, because I don't want to stare at art while I'm driving around that circle and rear end somebody.
Okay. No, that's
I did love
fair.
what was there.
I did too.
And it served its purpose, and
ran its time.
But
ran its course.
Goes into the back of your mind. If I can't walk up and interact with art, sometimes I get frustrated. But
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it is, and I also don't want it to be an afterthought. Like,
wow.
You know, it's, I don't know. It's a tough one.
I feel like there was such a focus on it not being, I loved what was there before. And I'm perfectly okay if somebody did something that was more of an abstract maritime theme. I think that people are pushing so much to not have it be maritime, or not have it be, you know, something that's traditional Annapolis, but that's what Annapolis is. So put a funky spin on it. Like, I think do a sailboat, but something that is just, it's super industrial or really abstract and has,
and it had to be simple, because that's kind of my beef is like, I don't want to, there's nowhere to stand and look at it and be with it. And
true,
you know, like, I love sculpture gardens. I love them.
Me too.
I like try to go to one at least once a year and just wander around, and I'm in awe. But I want to walk around the piece, and I want to be part of it. And if I'm just driving around it, it doesn't connect with me the same. I would just love for it to be a little stopover for the bees and the butterflies.
Yeah.
To
there you go. Nothing
keep
wrong
going.
with
you,
and you can do landscape art. That is art. Like,
sure.
There's gorgeous ways to do that.
I think, I want to say it was when I was in Vancouver, but I can't remember. I can't remember. I think it was a circle, but it was this beautiful, like, think like Edward Scissorhands, where it's like the sculptures out of the greenery.
Topiary.
You can do it, and you know, obviously it doesn't die in the winter, right? It's just but that's the hard part, is the maintenance. I would love to see something like that, something that's natural.
Yeah.
But of course, with city spending and budgeting, you have to budget for all of the maintenance.
Sure.
Right.
So, but I think if we're going to put art there, lean into the traditions of what Annapolis is, and don't go and get an artist from across the country to do it. Get an artist from Maryland, get an artist from Annapolis. You know, if you don't get an artist from Annapolis because they don't suit it, at least get one from Maryland. Maryland is a hub because we are the capital of Maryland. So I think there was a lot of push to maybe bring somebody in from out of town or, you know, do something that felt more like in tune with like a Philadelphia or something like that. We're not Philadelphia. We're never going to be. I think we need to lean into our identity of the city of Annapolis and just move with that. So that was a complete, can I cuss?
Sure.
That was a complete shit show. Like that whole process was just so crazy. The options.
I think having more artists on panels where they discuss options is essential, and not just having 100 opinions of everyone in the neighborhood or in the city. I think way too many people, it's that design by committee that we love, and artists need to be heard and they have great ideas, and then bring in engineers to figure out the hard stuff. But like the letting everyone in the community say what they want that just watered down the process, I think. I mean, it's one thing to hear it, like that's great, but then it became a fight over what it was, and
then it expanded into other things like, oh, and while we're on this topic, I don't understand why we have this and what we have that, and it's like, oh man, boy. This is going.
Here we go.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes, a lot of times, we have boards, and this is not just strictly about Annapolis, but we have boards, committees, associations. They make decisions about the arts, and they don't have one artist sitting on their board or sitting on a panel. Like,
it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
It happens so much. You have people who are enthusiastic about art, who are collectors of art. Those people are extremely important, right? They're important to the ecosystem of the artist and why arts thrive, like not just monetary, you know, but when they are the people that are running everything because they like art or because they love art, but they don't actually have the people who are making it, you know, or the people who are engineering it, or the people who can push back and say, yes, this is a good idea in theory, but it may not work as well, and we should not present that to the public. I think this is something that happens. It's not just Annapolis. It happens. I read this. I think it's. I can't remember if it was Art News or there's another Art Daily. It's specifically about issues.
Well, art is controversial by nature too.
Yeah.
Oh,
so, and you know, I mean, whether it's going to be discussing this piece of art, saying, "Oh, I like that. I don't like that. What do you think about it? What do you think he meant of that?" Or, "What the hell do you mean you're going to put a whale carcass in the middle of the circle?" Or maybe it's hot dogs on sticks, or depending on whatever, however you wanted to interpret that.
Yeah.
It is controversial.
One of the things that frustrates me with a lot of processes in many, many cities, and not just Annapolis, is that the organization or city or whoever it is in charge of this project, when they put out their RFP, they have a theme.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why does everyone have to fit into these themes of, I forget what this one was. It was like connection or unity.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I hated that there was a theme. Like, why can't you just create something beautiful and let it be beautiful? Like
that part.
Alexander Calder's sculptures were not
was that art
based
for art's
on
sake?
a theme. Yeah, it's just
art for art's sake. Yeah,
just make something beautiful. Like, period. The end. Like, why did when you give them a topic, it starts to become such a specific piece of art that
it's not art anymore. It's a deliverable project for a client.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah,
you know?
I never thought about
Yeah, that was my
Yeah.
biggest gripe with the whole thing. I was like, why? Like, just people that make sculpture and that create installation pieces should not
be restricted on that.
I get it if there's like a theme for a festival or something and you're trying to build this thing, but it's a deliverable. It's a
deliverable.
It's
I think the theme should be, if there is a theme, it has to be so broad, like
sculpture.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's IBM doing it, okay, yes, I need to have
Right.
the I, the B, and the M somewhere work in this, and fine. That's what it is.
If Jeff Huntington creates a mural, right, and he gets hired by the Baltimore Ravens to create a mural. They're his client.
Mhm.
He is creating art, but he's creating a deliverable for a client.
Sure.
If Jeff
hire.
Huntington gets the chance to work, a business says we are giving up a wall, create art.
Totally
it's
different
his
thing.
art.
Question for you guys. What is, provided that you have an administration that is all on board, budget is not necessarily a concern. What's Annapolis missing in the art scene? What do we need in Annapolis?
We need somebody at City Hall that speaks for the arts. That is a paid position that bridges the gap from the mayor's office to the arts organizations, artists, communities. Because right now, AIPPC is the only, what are they called? Commission.
Right.
Commission,
that does anything for the arts, and it's broken right now. Like everybody knows it. There's a better way to do this. I'm not the one to tell you the better way, and I have lots of opinions of this, but I really think that there needs to be someone in the mayor's office, even if it's like a part-time position, but like that is in the arts, that is an artist maybe, or has experience working in the arts sector, to be the person to help plan the festivals that the city puts on, to be the outreach person to say, okay, the city wants to do a mural. This is how we're going to do this. Somebody that just knows that world, because right now it's, you deal with people that are non-artists and not in the artist world, and then you're just banging your head up against the wall trying to accomplish things. I think the city could really be helpful and supportive of the arts by partnering with like the Arts District and the Arts Council, which they do. But I think having that one specific person in an office would be
A liaison.
huge for all of us. Liaison.
I piggyback on that and say a true arts district. Like, I think that the Arts District board that's there now and the work that they're putting forth is great. Like, they really are trying to create like a better, like a really good momentum that hasn't been there in a while. And they have great vision. They're what the board that's there right now. And we've been talking to them and working with them, and we really enjoy it. But I think we're lacking a true arts district where artists are not getting priced out, because you have artists like Charles Lawrence, who had FinArt, who was priced out. We weren't in the arts district. We were right outside of it, and we weren't priced out. We left because our building had
Your roof fell in.
A hot water heater exploded on the floor above us and flooded our studio.
Yeah, and poor Brian and Sarah own the space. They had to take the time to remediate that. I mean, it was a lot of water damage, and so we needed a place to go. I think we definitely love that space. I'm grateful for this space, but I'm grateful for our time there. But
yeah, it was fun down there.
I think that like the arts district our current arts district doesn't have a lot of art, and it doesn't have artists who can live and sell, or even just sell.
There's not a heartbeat and a soul in the arts district. Like it's a boundary. And we talked to Don Lamb Minor, who's on the arts district board, a lot about this. And their kind of new vision is they want to support Annapolis arts and not just their district. So they are looking at it without borders. And they're also looking to expand the arts district down the road.
Yeah.
But honestly, the arts district is just in name. Like it's a way, it's designation by the state. Landlords can get tax breaks by renting to artists. Artists in the arts district can get tax breaks, which honestly, it's not that big of an incentive. But the fact of the matter is they're not affordable spaces or proper setup spaces. Like they're not studio spaces.
And there's
on
not
West
enough
Street.
landlords who are going to give up, a possible restaurant or a possible office.
I mean, there's so many
for
lawyers.
3,000 square feet to give to.
So
give to an artist,
I love what Don and the whole arts district board are focused on now is just how can we support the arts in the city of Annapolis and not try to be just, this bordered area.
Now, we've talked about the arts district, and the arts district in really vague terms goes from Calvert Street to Westgate Circle, Maryland Hall, up West Street, right?
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it.
You got
it
it.
goes extends back into Murray Hill and
Clay Street. Yeah.
in that. But I mean, that's the area so that there are people that aren't aware of where that is.
Yeah.
And obviously, that inner West Street, which is probably considered the historic district, has an awful lot of arts there. I mean, you've got the Studio 57.
Gallery 57.
Gallery 57.
You have the
and
Collection Gallery.
Ram's Heads are,
Ram's Head.
I mean, the reason that block has been left out is because of the tax dollars that Ram's Head generates. And that is, it's obvious. And it's sad because that block has all the arts. It is the art block of West Street.
Truly. I mean, it's where all the artists hang out. It's where they go to the bars. It's where they go to get
I think
coffee.
another reason, like Inner West Street Association and Arts District are working together to, brand it or just host events in conjunction so that it feels
one big.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. You guys have done so much for the art world. I think everybody needs to check out andcreativestudio.com. We'll get you there for now. Until we get the big one.
Our Annapolis, artfarmannapolis.com is the main website for all the classes. So if you want to take classes, it's ArtFarm.
And then andcreativestudio.com
is
the
gallery events, and rentals. But we also launched AnnapolisEventRentals.com, which just has all three of our spaces on for anything from like small, intimate one-on-one meetings to 50 people in and I guess up to like 65 to 75 in ArtFarm.
It seems
events.
like a perfect place for, if you just a corporate retreat. I mean,
totally.
You sit there and you think about somebody else. It's,
we actually had somebody reach out. That's why I need to talk to you about.
Yeah, we do team building. We just created a whole team building package or packages. So there's 3 options right now, and we'll always add to it, I'm sure. But we've had, we just had a really cool group, international group that were all, IT, what are they? Technology people. Come in and do a collage workshop with us, and it's really fun to bring in. I like the corporate groups, honestly, that come in because it's so fun to break that hard shell of I'm not an artist, and then all of a sudden they're like glue sticks.
A long time ago, I was on the board at St. Anne's Day School. And, they were just all stuck up and hung up on some damn thing, and I made a motion. They said, "Yeah, what is it?" I said, I make a motion that we take 20 minutes and go swing on the swing sets.
Yes,
and
exactly.
The president looks at me and is like, excuse me? And my friend Robert says, I'll second it.
Yes.
and we got it. We went out there. We had 20 minutes just swinging. 20 minutes cleared the air and everything else. And we were able to come back.
We had this one crew. It was like 30 of them. This was like when we first moved. I think about them like often. They come in and they're just really stuffy, kind of quiet, like, oh, hey, yeah, thanks. Yep. Yep. Okay. Yeah. We'll just sit here. Nobody's really interacting.
Was it the one with all the guys that were just having, they had a cooler of beers and they were.
I think so. They were the ones who, when they did
what they were.
They did the exquisite corpses.
Yeah. They were so fun.
We gave them these 2 activities and the laughter. Like the laughter that came out of them because they're meant to be ridiculous. One is the blind contour where you draw somebody, you're staring at them, you don't look at your paper and you don't pick up your pen.
Right.
And I mean, they would show the portraits to the person they were drawing and they looked terrible. Terrible. Like there was one girl that actually I was like, man, damn, you should do this. But they were outrageous. And man, they were like in stitches, red in the face, laughing like. It was the best seeing, and that is like alchemy of the arts. Like that is alchemy. The arts came in and shifted the entire energy of like 30 people.
Within minutes.
Minutes. And Alison and I were just like, yeah, we want to do more of this.
This works.
Yeah.
I had heard about it, and it might be an idea that you guys could do a couples thing. I mean, I know they've had those paint.
Oh, yeah, like paint each other.
Yeah.
Where you sit across from each other and you paint each other.
Yeah.
And then
I've seen those.
I love those.
I've got a friend of mine she's very, very artistic. Let's just say he's not. It was, she was pretty spot on with what went down.
This was just a mess.
You're like, you think I look like a blob? Thanks.
It was like, okay, crazy Mr. Rorschach,
Yeah.
Let's figure out. Visit this place. Come up here and see what they've got. If you've got questions, anything about the arts, about how and creative can work for you, how the and collective and creative collective. And creative collective.
We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see.
We're workshopping it.
We'll work there. Photography studio. We've got a podcast studio. So, I mean, if you're a business and you need to record a periodic podcast or maybe something else, great resource right here. Do you have public hours that?
So we were just talking about that. We don't, we're open for events, but we're talking about making some gallery hours during the weekend. Probably Sundays would be open for the public. And then, I mean, Darin and I are always here. We don't always want to be bothered. Right. Because we're working on all kinds of other stuff too. But yeah, anybody can email us at any time and reach out and
I'll vouch for that. I confirmed this podcast like it 20 minutes before I got here. So
but definitely come to an event. I think a really easy in right now. We're doing a series called Art After Dark. And this was built just in the last few months to encourage people that are I'm not an artist kind of people, a very easy in to experience our space, to experience art, to be social. So really that third space idea of I need a place to go that's not a bar, that's not, I can go by myself and not feel weird. So we've got a series of things for Art After Dark. One really cool thing that they just had last night, Darin runs it. It's called Art Bar. And it's a time for you to just come in and you sit down and it's like an art cafe and you order off the menu what activity you want to do. So whatever floats your boat that night, you can bring a whole table of friends and you can all do a different activity.
Yeah, we had a birthday party. It was like a birthday
really
last night. So I popped open a Prosecco for them.
That's so fun.
And yeah, you have like a server. We all wear aprons. We all match.
That's fun.
We changed it to sushi menu style ordering, which was so much easier for us. Shout out to Montana and I for coming up with that.
Yeah, right.
It was so fun. It's such. Last night, there was so much laughter.
Yeah.
And
it's
it
very
was just
social.
Relaxed, very social, very relaxed. And we have a popcorn bar, which was a huge success. Went through all the popcorn last night. But we encourage people. So the film night is a part of the Art After Dark series. So it's Art Bar, Film Night, Sketch night, and Family Art Night.
And Mystery Art Night. And there's one more. And I can't think of it because I'm picturing the flyer with 6 things on it. I'm like, what is that last?
What did we plan?
Family Art Night and I don't know.
See, this is two brains just going too fast. There's
welcome to
coming
our
up,
world.
Coming up with the next.
We have a business coach that has been basically analyzing the two of us and finally has broken the code and told us this week how we need to work together properly. I work very differently than Darin, and thank God, because it's like that yin yang kind of vibe where
it has to be, I think.
Yeah,
big time,
I know. We're really lucky to have
it's so
found each other.
I know. It's
how did you find each other?
We don't know.
We don't know.
Okay.
we still can't figure out how we even
just met. Two little orphans on Inner West Street ended up in a store or something.
I know, yeah. No, I mean, I think we met so many times in different things, and it just finally the moment happened. And Darin was looking for space to have her retail kind of idea, and I was needing a new partner. And Eric Evans is the one that said, "Hey, Darin Gilliam, and I was like, oh, she'd be perfect," because I knew who she was. I used to attend events at the collective you were part of.
It's Studio of the Arts and then at Creative Paradox.
And I knew her through her work at Symmetry and so we knew of each other. We just never worked together on things. And then boom.
I've known Alison's husband since I was 15 or 16 years old. So I always say that Alison is one of my memory gnomes because she pops up in memories that she wasn't in because I just associate them with Ruben. So I automatically just feel like Alison
I've always been here.
So yeah, we've been trying to figure it out. I don't remember at all how we met, but I remember working with you all. I rented space from them to do something for a collection that I was putting out. And then Malcolm rented space for the documentary that he worked on, my brother. He did he ran the open mic, hip hop open mic, and he did a documentary about it. And we
screened that at the first space.
And then
one on near Westgate Circle.
Right. Yeah. And then I did my thing with you guys at the second space.
It was like a collection, pop-up collection thing. It's just weird. I think we've always just been ships in the night, or not even that.
Yeah.
We've been like
Just floating in the
Alarm,
in the same pool, and finally
Even
they're like, I like you too. Let's do this.
even in life though, like even talking to you about, you were like, oh yeah, I was in Philly during these years, and I was like, I used to go to Philly every weekend. Like literally, like the year she left, I started coming to Philly and doing all the art scene stuff in Philly.
We're 5 years apart. Is it, or 6 years? 5, 4, somewhere around there.
How old are we?
I'm 40.
we're not going to talk about that. my dad taught me well, so we don't talk.
But we're 5 years apart,
No,
so I think that we just kind of like
It's
missed
not
each
5
other.
years.
Yeah, I'm 46. You're 41, right?
I don't know anymore. I'm 42.
Are you?
Yeah. I
When's
think
that?
so.
All right.
Yeah,
4 years
1983.
apart, whatever.
Well, there you go. Now we know. There we know.
I'm not embarrassed of my age.
Check out artfarmannapolis.com. Check out andcreativestudio.com. Better yet, come up here, check it out. Check out one of the galleries. Check out one of the shows that are here. One of several events. If you've got kids, you've got spring breaks coming up. You've got winter breaks. You've got summer breaks. I know Alison runs a wonderful Fearless Girls Photography Clinic, which is awesome. And it's just a different way to let everybody express themselves. And again, I do challenge everybody to, when you're walking around, look around and see if there really is a place that doesn't have art in it. And you're going to be hard pressed to do it. And if you do find it, let us know, and we'll get Alison and Darin on it, and
we'll change it.
There's a couple of buildings in Annapolis that are lacking art that I would love to see something on it, but I won't call them out.
We need to start a list.
Sure, absolutely. But I mean, art is so intrinsic, and again, it really melts away all of the nastiness and the ugliness that we're seeing here.
Yeah.
We're all experiencing one thing together, and we may have a different opinion on it, but art is art. And I thank you guys both for being such a huge force in the art community in Arundel County as well as Annapolis. And I can't wait to see what And Creative Collective looks like at the very end. So that's exciting. So congratulations to that.
Yeah, stay tuned for some big stuff going on in March. We're going to have our big birthday market. We're going to do a benefit concert here for ArtFarm that'll go toward our scholarship fund, and a new website.
Oh my gosh.
Refreshed website. So
yeah,
March is going to be a big refresh for us.
Well, make sure you let us know with everything that's going on.
For
We'll make
sure.
sure we get some people here. And but thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to this week's Local Business Spotlight. Please make sure to visit eyeonannapolis.net for all your local news, events, and opinion. And in case you haven't already, please subscribe to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, where we bring you all the day's local news direct to your phone, tablet, or computer in about 10 minutes. It comes to you at 6 a.m. every Monday through Friday, and you can subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.